This is Keith from the UCLA Elite family of clans. I'm here to show you one of the most effective Town Hall 9 versus Town Hall 9 attack strategies for war. That would be called Go Wee Wee. And what Go Wee Wee stands for is Golems, Witches, and Wizards. The basic army composition for a Go Wee Wee attack is 3 Golems, 3 to 5 Witches, about 8 to 10 wall breakers, wizards, rest of wizards, and a few archers to help clean up some perimeter buildings. Maybe up to 8 archers, depending on how you like your your army composition. You play around with it, you'll like things better than others. What you're going to see in these attacks are some Go Wee Wee attacks. And what's the most effective thing about Go Wee Wee is the golems don't create a lot of damage, but they take a lot of damage from the opposing defenses, and they're kind of like the shields. You use them for shields to protect your witches and wizards, and your witches and wizards do pretty much all the damage. So let's look at some attacks. So in this attack, you're going to see the 3 golems are spread out pretty wide. He drops the 3 witches behind the 1 in the center. That's very important to make sure you drop your witches behind the 1 in the center that you're trying to get towards the middle of the base. Then you drop some wizards out behind each golem. Be careful not to get them too far on the outside perimeter of the golems, or they'll be killed by defenses. You'll see in that top right one just got killed. Then when the CC troops come out, you rage and then heal. So you can kill those CC troops right away, and then when you get to the middle, you rage and heal again. Why is it important, and why do you use all your spells right away like this? It's important to use to kill off the CC troops as fast as you can, and it's important to kill the center of the center of the war base as fast as you can, because most of the time that's where they have a lot of the strong defense, including the expos. And you want to keep your witches and wizards alive. That's the most important thing. Keep your witches and wizards alive. Once you get through the center, there's not as many defenses anymore, so your golems will start doing what they do is be the shields, and your witches and the wizards will start cleaning up the buildings. You can see here, this is doing a pretty effective attack. There's not many buildings left. The Archer Queen is cleaning off the right side of the building. The witches and the wizards are cleaning out the left. It's important to save about 5 of your wizards to help clean up the perimeter of the building near the end, because what will happen is a lot of times your wizards will be killed along the way, and you just need some extras to help with the golems. What happens if you don't do that, and a bunch of your wizards get killed, all of a sudden your golems are walking around and can't take out the perimeter, and you're not going to get a 3-star. This is pretty much over, and that was a pretty effective Go Wee Wee attack. You'll see his army composition: 3 level 4 golems, 3 witches, 23 wizards, 9 wall breakers, 2 archers, 2 heals, 2 rages. And in his CC clan castle, I bet he had either wizards or a golem, depending on what you want to use. It's pretty effective if you have level 5 golem or Town Hall 10s that will give level 5 golems to put a level 5 golem, especially when the expos get stronger. When the expos get to level 3, Go Wee Wee becomes a little bit tougher because the golems start to get killed off by the expos a little bit faster, and all of a sudden your witches and wizards will be exposed. It's also important to look at the wall compositions. If you have a lot of open spaces for your golems to go around, that will help out make Go Wee Wee easier. If you have a lot stronger walls and a lot more compartment, that makes Go Wee Wee a little bit tougher because it's harder to get your golems and your witches moving around. Okay, let's look at another attack. This is by another attacker. Okay, here again, they pick a base. There's a lot more compartments here, but there's pretty weak expos, so your golems are going to stay alive a lot longer. They deploy the golems. He uses the strongest one in the middle there. You see that? And he drops his 3 witches behind it. And then he spreads out the golems pretty far, and he'll probably drop some witches behind there, witches or wizards behind that the last golem a little bit. Rage and heal, important to do right off the bat once the CC troops come out, because you want to keep your CC troops alive, especially your witches. That's the most important thing, your witches alive. What I also do a lot of times is once I drill down that rage, I drop my wall breakers, a lot of them in sequence, to try to kill off the blow holes into these walls. Again, he dropped his, when he got to the center, he dropped his heal and his, well, he actually just dropped his rage, and he did not drop his heal. Those double bombs did a lot of damage. They killed pretty much most of his CC, most of his witches. This is going to be a very tough finish up, but since he cleared out most of the perimeter defenses by spacing out his golems pretty well, he only has a few more things to kill off, and then he can get a 3-star. So it's important to not, when you see that destroyed, is to keep fighting and do your best. See, he also saved some witches to clear off the perimeter of the buildings. That's going to help out right now, because it's going to help kill off these archer towers that are doing some damage over here. Over here, the archer queen needs to get through the wall. Once he clears out these storages to the right, this is going to be pretty much a 3-star. Let's speed it up because all the defenses are gone. 3-star. Look at his army composition. He had 3 golems. We know one of those was a level 5. It came out of the clan castle troops. 25 wizards, 3 witches, 8 wall breakers, 8 archers, 2 rages, and 2 hills. Very effective composition. That's what I like to use. I actually like to use 4 witches instead of 3 in case, like in his case, those witches got destroyed. I like to be able to have one going at a different part of the base so that I can start cleaning up some of the perimeter buildings. Let's watch another attack. This one, let me show you this attack. This attack has a different heal, different spell composition. This is a perfect base to go wee-wee. Weak expose, level 2, spread out, that you can get through the middle of the base pretty easily. He does a very good job of spreading out his golems. However, he puts his strongest golem on the perimeter, which isn't so great because that will be not as effective to protect all the witches in the center. He also blows holes on the 2 sides of the perimeter, which isn't bad, but he doesn't blow a hole to get into the middle right away. So what you saw in the other 2 attacks is they used their wall breakers on their center golem, and to get the golem into the middle, to get all the witches into the middle. Here we have the perimeter attack, 2 rages. He heals a little late. He could have healed that earlier. He has our heal and a rage going on. He hasn't quite got into the center yet. He uses another rage. There's some troops that are getting around there. The problem with the 3 rages versus the heal is when you get to the middle, your CC troops are still getting barraged by like the mortars, the expos. He still has them alive, so that's beneficial, but he's lost one along the way. He's lost pretty much all his wizards. Now he's lost his 2nd witch, or his 3rd witch, depending on how many he had. He only has 1 witch left. His golem's gone, so the heal spell helps with that golem as well to help protect that a little longer. He only has 1 golem out here in the perimeter left. His witch is in the middle. It's pretty much going to get killed here by the splash damage, and this is not going to be a 3-star attack. You can tell already that there's this archer tower is already focusing on the queen. So look at his composition. His composition had 5 witches, which isn't bad. I've used that composition many times. 20 wizards, 3 golems. Why wasn't this a 3-star? He lost a lot of his wizards and witches by getting them killed when they're in the center. Pretty much all of them were killed in the center. Had he probably used 2 heal spells, it might have been a little bit better. He probably would have kept them alive. You got to be able to keep your witches and wizards alive through when they're getting barraged by the strongest the strongest defenses, and that's normally at the very beginning and in the middle. So let's look at some more attacks, see if we can see anything different. So let's go to the war map again. Let's go to another war. Let's go to war. Okay, so what I've been pretty much showing you is pretty much weaker walls, weaker expos, but this also GoWiWi works on strong bases and strong walls as well. This is actually probably a perfect base for it. What you're going to see here is a lot of perimeter buildings, a lot of spaces for your golems to walk around, a lot of things, open space for your witches to send skeletons around, only 2 walls to get to the middle. He releases, spreads out the golems pretty well. Keep in mind with a base like this, if you don't kill this defense, your golem's not going to go to the center. He's going to go off around the outside exterior of the building. But all is not lost if that happens. See, he's still raged and heal at the beginning. You got to get your troops into the middle, rage and heal it. See, he raged and healed the center. He has his witch in there. He's got a bunch of wizards in there. He's going to clear out this middle. They're taking a lot of fire. There's no golems to help protect them, but since he's healing them, and there's a witch and wizard in there, he's able to kill off the strongest part of the building, and now he's going to clear off all these perimeter buildings that's outlining the middle of it, the outer middle, and his golems have free range around. His golems are right there. He saved some of his wizards to spread out once his golems move progressively around the building to help clear out the outside of the buildings, the outside buildings, or the perimeter buildings. And this is going to be a 3-star. You can tell already because everything is going really well. So let's speed it up. 3-star. Army composition was 3 golems, 3 witches, 26 wizards, 2 archers, and 7 wall breakers. I actually think he had a couple that he didn't use. 2 heals, 2 rages. Let's watch another attack and show you one that didn't go so well again. So that would be number 15. Okay. Another attack. Pretty strong walls, kind of a weak expos, a level 1 and a level 2. He spreads out his golems. 2 of them are pretty close here to the right. See what happens if they're too close to each other? If you open up the wall, they all start going to the center one. He does a good job spreading out his witches. He gets them to the middle. The witches are going to trigger, the skeletons are going to trigger the giant bomb. That's great. He does a great job of actually getting the center opened up. His golem goes in there. That helps out a lot. He rages it. His center, he doesn't have the extra heal to help right there. So his golem's taking a lot of damage and getting destroyed. This is very interesting. He had some kind of bad luck here where the skeleton traps came out and all his troops went after it except for a couple witches, which are okay. Here was where everything kind of went wrong. You see the witches got destroyed by those 4 Teslas, which are very powerful, all close to each other. And he didn't have a heal to keep them alive. These Teslas now are going to start creating a lot of damage. They weren't taken out, so they're going to sit there and focus on destroying his golems. So this is not going so well because he can't get into those Teslas to kill him. And the Teslas are just going to start working on destroying everything. This is kind of a bad luck attack, not necessarily what the attacker did wrong. He could have spread out his golems a little bit better. He could have used the strongest golem in the middle. But really, this is bad luck. The traps got his troops out, except for the fact that he could have healed the center, I think, and been able to kill off those Tesla towers. You see the Teslas are pretty much just destroying the troops. He does pretty good. He gets pretty far along. He ends up getting 75%, but if he would have got rid of those Tesla towers, that would have been probably for sure 3-star. And also, you know, he did not have his, to give one benefit of the doubt here, he did not have his Archer Queen. That would have helped out. If that Archer Queen got in the middle, that would have probably maybe killed off those Tesla Tars. Maybe not. But that's go wee wee. So the important thing is this for recap. 3 golems, 3 to 5 witches, 2 heals, 2 rage. Spread out your golems pretty wide that they're all close far enough that they don't go into the center or into one spot when you open up the middle. Have 2 rages, 2 heals, rage and heal at the beginning. When the CC troops start to come out, drop your wall breakers. The rage will help your wall breakers get to the center. Rage and heal the middle. That will help all your troops stay alive. And once you get most of those defenses out, you'll be able to get around the base. I hope this video was beneficial to y'all. I'm going to make some more videos, but if not, please subscribe to our channel. You'll be able to see effective war strategies videos that we have posted. Thank you, and good luck in your wars.